Hey, what's up? We're making a Souls-like and we want to talk about it. So what is Project Spire? Project Spire, for us, is a way to appreciate games and a genre that we love and have a lot of respect and appreciation for. In many ways, the goal of this project is to re-explore, most closely, the feel and vibes of Dark Souls 1, while bringing in some newer ideas from more recent titles, both ones by From Software as well as other developers. But, you may be asking, is this going to be anything more than just a love letter to Dark Souls? Yeah, we hope so. While much of our ideas are grounded in pre-existing design aspects and philosophies, we think that we can bring something new to the table as well. We want to push the boundaries of what's been seen in a Souls-like before, allowing for fresh gameplay experiences that we hope will really stick with players. So let's look at some of the highlights for mechanics. The core rhythm of the game will feel very similar to other Souls-likes. Players will have to carefully choose what attacks they'll go with and when to commit to them, while evading the brutal attacks of their enemies. Here are some ways we'll be expanding from there. Number 1. No iframes. This is pretty self-explanatory. Evasive maneuvers just won't have iframes. While players might not notice this too much in practice, we like the idea of the player really having to dodge based on the trajectories of attacks, and we hope that this choice will create new types of situations in combat and force players to really learn patterns and plan out strategies. Number 2. Health regain. Regaining health is nothing new in Souls-likes. What we wanted to explore, though, was a less common approach, healing directly through combat. While players can't dodge through attacks, they still have, among other options, a sidestep. If the player can pull off a sidestep that prevents them from getting hit, meaning that they would have gotten hit if they hadn't sidestepped, they'll have a brief window of opportunity where the next hit they land will heal them, based on the amount of damage they deal. This was actually most directly inspired by Hollow Knight, and we think it'll keep players more engaged in combat, removing the break that a healing flask tends to add in. Number 3. Ledge grabs. Let's be honest, we all lost our collective minds when we saw Night Rain would have a ledge grab. For the purposes of our game, we think that it will be a great way to build on the exploration that is typically present in Souls-likes. These games have such evocative settings, and we hope that ours will be no exception. Thus, we want to really immerse players further in our world by adding this new layer of verticality that will enable more creative and unique traversal. Number 4. Build flexibility. Unlike with many other Souls-likes, we plan to make build changes far more accessible during a playthrough. While we understand the reasoning behind having players commit more to one specific build, we want to encourage players to use all of their inventory to solve levels or bosses that they might be stuck on. We intend to balance the game around an intended approach of crafting a quote-unquote build with synergies that take advantage of a boss's weaknesses. Even our intended weapon system will allow for dynamic weapon leveling, so the player can fully adjust to each new situation. Number 5. Universal magic. The magic system of this game is something that we intend all players, regardless of build, to be able to engage with in combat if they choose. With this magic system, however, we're adding some extra layers to execution. In-game, players must consume an item called a Noctobloomberry in order to begin crossing, connecting with the spiritual current of the world. The system is actually somewhat inspired by the Yokai Realm mechanics in Nioh. In this state, players gain a mana bar that acts as a timer on how long they can stay crossing. If they stray too far from their anchor, the place where they began crossing, the mana bar will begin to deplete rapidly. They may also use this bar to cast spells and wield the power of fallen foes against their opponents. While these powers will have strong offensive capabilities, we also intend for them to provide synergy through things like buffs and debuffs. Again, the goal here is to encourage players to craft builds. Well, we don't want to talk you to death right off the bat, but we hope that you enjoyed hearing about our plans. We've been thinking about this game and prototyping since the start of 2024, and it's super exciting to finally dive into development proper. If you're interested in our development process going forward, we'd love to have you along for the journey. Moving forward, we'll be posting devlogs on our studio channel, Lobster Games. I'll put a link in the description to this video. We're super excited about this project, and we hope that something in this video perhaps caught your attention as well. Anyway, we hope to see you again down the road, and thanks for watching.